Hello everyone, welcome back to my Unreal Engine tutorial series. So today I'm going to show you how to craft arrows and other resources. So here I have now 6 arrows, and using this craft window I'm gonna craft 2 more arrows like this. You can see here in order to craft arrows I need 1 feather and 1 wood, and when I press craft one button once, these resource counters are reducing like this. And also here now we have 10 arrows, and same way these buttons will also work, but at the moment I don't have these type of resources. Okay, and now you can see here as well we have 10 arrows, and that's what I'm going to do today. And as always, this episode is sponsored by these generous Patreons. Thank you very much for the support you guys are giving me. Okay, so let's open our inventory widget, and yeah, this is the crafting window. So let's first work on this craft one, right? So before that I need a way to tell that these are the amounts of resources I need in order to craft this particular item, and I already have this text as requirements. But the problem with that approach is this is coming as a text. So instead I need it to come as a resource, maybe an array of resources. So I need some kind of a structure to hold those data first. And where can I do that? Yeah, we'll already have these buttons, and these buttons can hold some data types. Yeah, it already holds the resource type and requirement string. Yeah, so instead of a string, this is where I use that string to initialize, yeah, requirements like this. So instead of that string, what if I change that to an array of resource types? So let's change it. Mm, well, actually, uh, just an array of resource type is not enough because I need a map here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to change it so that like this. So I can define, like, let's say that I am going to craft arrows. This is the arrows button. Then I can define like this: wood 1 and feathers 1 in this map. I'll compile this. Right, now here I'll break this one first, and for values, yeah, let's get the keys like this. And append how can I do this? Yeah, maybe like this. For each, yeah, let's do a for each loop, and after it is completed, let's connect this like this. Okay, and in the for each loop, yeah, I need a string, Right, so I'll promote this to a variable requirements string. All right, then I'll I need wait I need some space here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to create an string which contains all these resource types and the amounts required. So we can do it like this. In this element, find this element and append like this. This is the value. X, and this is the resource type, and a comma and a space and set. Wait, I need another string, and it should contain whatever this one already has. Right, and when this loop is completed, I can show the requirements like this. But oh wait, I have an error. Yeah, when I initialize button, now instead of this requirement, I need to set any requirement like this, not like an integer, not like a string. It should come as a map. Requirements like this. Alright, now I have to change this one here as well. Yeah, I have to define requirements accordingly. So let's make map. So here, this is for the frost elements. I need one blue leaf and one graphite. So key is blue leaf, value 1, and let's add another pin. Graphite, value is 1, and refresh this node. Okay, same way I have to do the same thing for all these nodes. Let me duplicate this. Alright, and for this one, for poison elements, one green leaf and one graphite, and refresh the node. And here one wood and one feather. and refresh the node, and here one red leaf and one graphite, and refresh the node, and let's compile. Yeah, all the errors are gone now. What's missing? What else missing? And let's see how it looks, whether we have got everything correct. Right, now we can see 1x feather and 1x wood for the arrow type, and here also 1x graphite and 1x green leaves. And yeah, everything is working properly as I have intended. They are working. Right, now the next thing is actual crafting. Okay, so how to do that? Well, when I press the craft button, press this button, I use this one, open crafting window. So here, what if I pass these elements as well? Actually, it would be a little bit of redundant thing to do, but yeah, so let's do it like this. Instead of passing these requirements as a text, what if I pass this whole requirements map? Can I do that? Let's create a variable here first in the same type, and I'll set requirements like this. Okay, now I'll collapse this part, open window, and I'll do this part, uh, this this process. I'll do this process inside the requirements button. Sorry, inside this event, like this. Because otherwise this part becomes redundant, as I already have to pass this requirement structure into this event. Alright, so let's connect this one like this. No, after this point I should call this, and here I should use this requirements map. Right, and when it is completed I should call this part, and for the requirements text I should pass this, and I need to get rid of this requirement text now. Is there yeah, I need to use this one. Alright, now here I need to refresh this node and get rid of this part. This part is completely redundant now because I am doing this exact operation inside the when I open the inventory window. Let's quickly check if everything is all right. Yeah, everything is working perfectly. Alright, here we have a little problem because I'm not clearing up this variable, this one. So I should set this to blank or empty before I use that variable again. So let's do it like this. To set it to blank, right, right. Now that problem is gone. Okay, now let's see how to craft one item first. So let's create the event. This is the button. I'll name this one btn craft. It should be a variable, and let's add an event on clicked. Well, I should call this one btn craft 1, shouldn't I? Because there is craft mac button as well. Craft 1. Okay, so now here what should I do? First I need to check for each type of this requirements map to check whether I have that type of resource. So let's do that. For each, no, let's get the keys first. Okay, and then I'll collapse this part. Okay, and then for each loop, let's get a reference to inventory like this, and get resource count. Yeah, I already have defined this method using bpi inventory in one of previous my videos. An element is this, and I need to compare this count. Is this larger or similar, larger or equal to the resource requirement of this type? So find the element type. Yeah, so if this is true for each of these elements, this must be true, otherwise I should not be able to craft this type of item. Because in order to craft this item I need to have all the required elements or resource types, and I need a boolean variable to hold whether I have all the required resource types. I'll call it as resources, and default value must be true. If this one is false, let's do a branch. Only if this one is false, I should set as resource to false, otherwise it will be true. And when this for each loop is completed, I'll do a branch like this, and if has resources is true, well, here before going to this value, this for each loop, I need to set has resources to true, because this otherwise this will have the same value as the previous try. Okay, so if I has resources, then this is what I have to do. Again, I'm gonna have to do the same thing as I did here. So I'll duplicate it. Instead of get resource count, I need to call update resource count. To the inventory, and the change is, yeah, element is this type, and the change is minus this requirement. So I have to multiply this one with a minus, and then after this part is completed, I need to again call this update resource count, and this time the type should be the current resource type that I am going to craft, and change should be +1. So do I already have somewhere that I keep which type of resources I'm going to craft? No, it seems I don't have that. Yeah, so here I'll do it. I'll add that. Craft type, I'll call it craft type, and I'll promote that to a variable like this. Craft type, and when I craft, I'll use that craft type here like this. And now I need to define the craft type inside the button. For the craft type, I should feed this resource type, whatever the resource type the button represents. So let's try to craft an arrow. I have wood, but in order to craft arrows I need feather as well. but I don't have feathers at the moment. So let's add some feathers in this craft, in this resource box, so that I can collect them. Oh, wait. Let's, yeah, here's the chest, resource chest, and I have the type wood, graphite. Let's add another type, feather, and amount 6. Okay, now let's see. Right, now I have wood and feather, so let's see if I can craft. Okay, right, the crafting worked, but this uh, value didn't update. I crafted 2 arrows and this is still 8. So if I close the inventory and open it again, you can see it has become 10. So we need to update the UI. For that I need to call this update resource counters event. Is that all I have to do? Yeah, I think so. So let's do that. When I craft 1, after that update resource counters. Alright, and then also let's add some sound. Play sound 2D, and what sound? What is this collapse sound? Oh, that's not like something crafting. No, that's fire. What are the other sounds I have? Yeah, let's use this sound. It's the same sound I used for resource collection, and that sound is jumping in. And actually this update resource counters only update these top bar resource values, but it doesn't update this button text. So in order to update those button text, I need to call this initialize resource buttons. Yeah, so I'll call that method as well. And let's check. Okay, right, now I have 12 arrows and 4 wood and 6 feathers. So let's craft some arrows. One, you can see in the top right corner in the top bar the wood count reduced to 3 and the feather count reduced to 5. So let's craft another one. Yeah, again it is reduced. Okay, again reduced, and here the arrow count is increased to 15. Alright, so that's what I wanted to do for today. I can craft arrows, and these should also work, but I don't have these other types of resources. But anyway, let's look into them later. And also this craft max and auto crafting option. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of my Patreon club. Link would be in the description below, and depending on the tier you join, you will have different privileges. And upload the latest source code into my Patreon page soon. And thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.